had a colleague in Coventry who came from the Shetland Islands and was a well-known poet. And when he retired and I retired, I decided to take advantage of a cheap trip to Aberdeen. And this is a ship, a view from the ship leaving Aberdeen.
What was your colleague's name, Colin?
Bill Tate. And so I took my paintings with painters with me, and I did a lot of things there. So he entertained me there, but there was, and I was introduced to a lot of people, local people who were many of them poets, because that's what people are like, and it's a place where they are closer to the Nordic tradition than the Scottish one, and they don't like the Scots. The fisher folk own with the boats owned by the Scots. They felt that they got a bad deal out of it, and also the Scots were not sympathetic to the families of those who were bereaved by death at sea. So this is a seascape going from to the island of Yell, which is the northernmost, and so I've written dim December from Ulster, Yell, and 1990. Now the owner of the fishing fleets and so on was a Stuart, and this was the castle of Patrick Stuart, who was much hated, and it was burnt down, and so you can see the ghostly castle in the background, and a rusty anchor. The oil workers, of course, on the islands of Shetland were very important. These are also vessels associated with the oil business, and as seen from a ferry, the very strong connection with the Scandinavian. It's only about it's nearer to Bergen than it is to Aberdeen, and they have an annual festival where they dress up as Vikings, and they burn the Viking boat, and it's very much an attraction for the tourists. And I put the end of old Yule in Thule, a blazing galley in Lerwick. The gulls in the harbour throng the ships. And landscape can be very bare, and the sort of dead heather gives a colour scheme.
Looks a lot more colourful than I would ever have expected.
And this one is called, it's imaginative picture, about a bruch, which is a circular tower of ancient sort, and built by the Picts. And I've done a picture which shows them being attacked by
Vikings. By Vikings.
Vikings. And then this picture is a sort of reverie on Celtic themes, or rather Pictish, as the Picts left behind an art engraved on stones. And I have a very special way of showing the vitality of the animals. When I came back to England, it was heavy in snow, and it was quite hard to get into the house at the back. We had holidays in the Boulogne area, and this is the Portel. It says les Pics de Portel. So this is in the back part of Boulogne, looking down on the railway which goes to Paris, and looking down on the homes of people who had been in the fishing industry for years. And there's the general view, an eroded Napoleonic fort out to sea. I seem to have been in France the same year as I was in up in the Shetland. So this is what I think is worth knowing about. And the snow scenes at home. And also about the same time I spent quite a lot of time in St Ives area. And I think this is a St Ives area.